today is a very special day. You talked about your media. You're talking about your media consumption. I have an odd taste in media, movies mostly. You're very
cinema.
You're a big uppity. My favorite movie of all time, its 25th anniversary is today. We're talking about that Tom Hanks classic, That Thing You Do.
Do 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 do.
Now, I made you watch this. What did you rank all your movies? What did you rank this movie?
So I haven't watched it in probably 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
a year and a half ago.
Right.
I mean, I gave it like pretty lukewarm, fine score.
Because you're a sheep.
Maybe. I would be interested to watch it again. I think since then I've come around more to like very palatable, like
You watch your
standard movie. Like no, not in a bad way at all. Like very like just very not trying to sound disrespectful here because I'm not trying to disrespect this movie because it's a fine movie.
It's great.
Like movies that aren't super artsy saying something.
Yeah, sorry.
Not that it doesn't say anything either, but movies that aren't like
written and directed by Tom Hanks. Yeah, sorry Tom Hanks wasn't Oscar baiting.
Movies that aren't Oscar bait movies. There was a point in my life where all those movies were shit if you're not making like bleeding heart cinema.
Right.
It fucking sucks. And I would imagine I would give it a higher score if I saw it now.
It is a smile. It is a smile from beginning to end. It is fantastic.
It's pretty delightful.
It has one of my favorite songs of all time. That Thing You Do, the title of the movie, is the title of the song, the main song of the movie. It also has other very good songs. For those that don't know, it is about a band in the mid-1960s that is like a garage band that ends up picking up a new member of the band, and it kind of like skyrockets them into like a summer-long superstardom where they go across the country performing this hit that they have. Tom Hanks written and directed. He is in the movie. He's their manager, and it's just delightful. I love it. Liv Tyler's in it. Tom Everett Scott's in it. Not that anyone will know who he is because he's really only in that. It's just fantastic. I would be interested what it has like on rating sites if you want to effort that maybe.
Let me produce this thing up a little bit. Let me get you some numbers.
Just for those that haven't seen it, give it a chance. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of good comedic moments in it. Great music, great actors. It's a good story. Good little story of a little small time band that makes it big.
So the Metascore, which is basically a conglomeration, of all the major sort of sites, is a 71
out of
100.
Okay.
Which is right about what I would give it. Like it's solid, really fine, nothing groundbreaking to it. If it's your favorite movie, that's totally understandable. I'd assume there's a lot of nostalgia probably.
Oh yeah,
impacting that decision for that to be your favorite movie.
No doubt. Yeah, it's one of my mom's favorite movies, and we watched it a ton when I was young. And it for sure plays into it, no doubt. But it also, objectively now, incredible though. And you got any? Give me a Rotten Tomato number.
The Rotten Tomato number was, I think, pretty high. Let me see here.
Rightfully so. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, give it a shot. I'm not even sure where to find it. I found it on a...
critic score 93. Audience score 78. I'm surprised that the critic score is higher. I need to watch this again.
You do, because
give it another watch.
Rules.
Yeah, I do remember all the musicals, like the, they did the sort of Ed Sullivan Show style live TV music performance. I remember that scene was very cool and very well done.
Very good. They do like a... like it was in the 60s, so people, although they were big, no one really knew, and they did this like introducing them to America on like this nationwide broadcast, and they do a cool live performance, and it shows like a behind the scenes like production view of it too, of them like introducing the band members. It's really cool. Give it a shot.
Yeah, one of Tom Hanks's 2 directorial efforts.
Pretty unique. He actually learned today as I was watching and looking up stuff for this 25th anniversary thing. He actually wrote some of the songs.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote a couple of the songs, which I thought was cool. Yeah, very few. He must not have liked the directing, although he did right after this like skyrocket into like
Well,
superstardom.
this is what year? 96?
96, yep.
96.
He did Private Ryan. He did Forrest Gump. He did Philadelphia.
Would that not have been
Sleepless in
before?
Seattle.
Let's see here.
I don't know for
I
sure.
would imagine
Give me the time.
before someone would give him, the reins to a movie. I don't really know what the budget of this movie was. Probably should look that up.
I think it made 25 or 30 million. I don't know what the budget was though.
Let's see here. 96. So 95 he's in Toy Story. So he's Forrest Gump's 94. So he's already
Okay, he did
Tom
Forrest
Hanks.
Gump already.
Sleepless in Seattle's 93, League of Their Own's 92. So he's already pretty big.
A League of Their Own, another one, fantastic. What was right after it? I think
Philadelphia's
obviously
93.
He was, at the time,
then
huge.
Saving Private Ryan's 98. You've Got Mail, Toy Story 2, Green Mile.
I was thinking of You Got Mail,
Castaway
not Sleepless in
2000.
Seattle.
So it's literally smack dab right in the middle of him at his peak.
Why it gets lost in the scrum.
Yeah, of all the Tom Hanks movies out there, and he's not a star in this movie either. He's in the movie, but he's like their sort of sleazy scumbag agent, which is interesting to watch.
Sleazy is aggressive.
But I mean,
Watch it again. Not a sleaze.
he doesn't do some nefarious stuff.
No.
Why he wants them to record their songs in Spanish and shit like that? Does that not classify as like?
No, it didn't come across like that. No.
Oh, I thought I remember him being kind of like a
No.
shifty character.
No, not really. I guess you can watch. You can make your own opinion on it, I guess, if you watch it again.
Anyway, he's not like your down the middle America's sweetheart
No.
torpor role, which is basically everything else he's ever played. Like I
True.
can't really think where he really plays anything that would even resemble an antagonist in any of these movies.
True.
So it's a little bit of a different role for him. Also playing more of like a like a tertiary character. It's kind of interesting to see him in that spot where he's not.
And he crushes in it too, of course. He's Tom
he's,
fucking Hanks.
one of the best actors we have. I think if I remember correctly, Raiders coming back.
Not so fast.
14-21.
Darren Waller's mossed the shit out of whoever that was. Was that Asante Samuel Jr.? Yikes.
Fuck yeah. I feel like I remember the leading man just didn't do it for me. It just
Yeah, I can see that.
He was just a little hollow, a little stiff.
I could see that. I've always thought, like, man, I'm surprised he wasn't like a little bit bigger or do a little bit more. But I could see why he didn't. I suppose
I'm just trying to think.
and I could see why he could have that impression. He didn't. So the character that he plays doesn't. He is the main character of the movie, but he kind of has to play this like So he's a drummer and he wears sunglasses at some point. He's like super incredibly cool guy, good looking guy, but he has to act like he's not in a way, like he doesn't know it.
Yeah, he's kind of your standard like unassuming like aw shucks Midwestern guy who doesn't understand his talent.
Yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania.
PA.
He kind of has to act like he doesn't know how cool and handsome and great at the drums he is, which is I could see how he gave up that vibe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other actors around that time that if they had been in this role, I don't really know off the top of my head. Like obviously you think of like I don't know.
Oh man, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I mean,
like
obviously, I'm very, very partial to the movie, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I get that.
I think he's great in it. I'm trying to decide if someone listening to this does watch it. I'm trying to decide. Just watch like the theatrical release because there's stuff online that adds like half an hour to the movie with a bunch of scenes that were cut. Did you know that Tom Hanks is? I won't even say it. Never mind. It was from the scene that got cut. I did want to bring up to you though, who is or what's your movie that's kind of deep in the weeds that people don't really know about, or someone like in this where Hanks, it's kind of buried down the chart a bit of his like top, like wouldn't be in a top 5 for most people. Do you have any? Because I
really don't know. I made a list of
because he is
like where does this stack up in terms of famous actors taking their foray into directing?
Okay,
because that's kind of an interesting list. Because I couldn't really I don't know. You asked me that before, and I don't know. It's hard to quantify who knows what movie or how.
He's one of the best actors of all time. Correct? He's one of the best actors of this generation.
Ability, like success at the box office, like any measurable. He's one of the best to ever do it.
I would guess that less than 50% of the people even know about this movie.
Yeah, it's not even close to in the top 10, 15.
Like, never even heard of it.
And, I mean, it's one because he's not the star of the movie.
Right. It's weird that he directed it and just, like, didn't do it again.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind why he didn't go on to direct anything else.
Yeah. Go ahead and hit me with some directorial debuts.
This isn't a debut. I can't remember which movie was this guy's debut. I think it was... But a guy who I think doesn't get enough credit for how huge he is as a director at this point and how much impact he has on movies.
I think I know what you're going to say.
That people don't really
I think I know what you're going to say.
think about in that discussion. John Favreau.
That wasn't who I was going to say, but yeah, he's
doing Iron Man. He's doing Spider-Man. He's doing Mandalorian. He did The Lion King. He did Chef. He did
Chef, yeah. True.
But yeah, a guy who's super impactful and usually has sort of a distinct style in movies like that, which is kind of hard to do in like a Marvel movie. But like, you got to think, without Jon Favreau making that first Iron Man movie, like, who even knows where we're at with this whole Marvel deal?
Yeah, definitely.
Just thinking about sort of the imprint that he's had on this era of filmmaking is pretty impressive.
So I think a factor of that, this just popped in my mind. I think a factor of that could be is why he's not as regarded in that, because he kind of is in like a weird limbo in the middle. Like, he has like would you classify it as a mediocre acting resume? It's like an okay acting resume.
Yeah, he's not he's a character actor. He's not a leading man.
Right. He's kind of in that middle. It's like, he directs a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's
a director
much more than he acts.
Right, and he's kind of he's making that push.
And I think another thing about it is like, well, one, people who watch a lot of Marvel movies aren't necessarily that in tune to who's even directing the movies. Typically, they just like, just gonna watch the Marvel movies, whatever. And there's not necessarily like a super distinct stylistic difference intentionally by Marvel in those movies.
They have they have an algorithm there.
Yeah, you're supposed to sort of throw it between the lines,
right?
Pitch it in the strike zone, sort of deal. But yeah, I think
he doesn't get enough credit, and
Johnny
I wonder
Favs,
if that's why. That was a good one. That's a good one.
Impact on the biz. I
thought you were going to say Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah, no, Jordan Peele's.
He was kind of
developed. Yeah, he's formed into one of the best horror directors.
He was like
to ever do it.
The sketch funny goofball guy, and now it's like, oh wait, kind of like the same deal. It was like, oh, he directs.
Yeah,
like smashes.
Colossal hits. Everything he touches is
he's making kind of a
gold.
Similar transition. I thought that's where you're gonna go, but
no, I didn't even have him on here. But that's a good one. Like him at this point, I almost don't even him. I've totally gone the other way. Like I don't even think of him as an actor at this point at all, really.
Yeah.
And not that he was really a big movie actor anyway. He kind of Jordan Peele.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He was like Key and Peele.
Yeah,
sketches.
Key and Peele to. Just
Yeah, he did sketches with.
Give these creative, talented people money to do good shit,
Could work out.
Maybe it works out sometimes. Just a few to run through. We don't want to make this too long.
Right. We will get to football probably. We got in 25 minutes. The people will,
people love movie talk.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde, Booksmart. That was her directorial debut.
Smash.
Fantastic. One of the better comedies the last 10 years probably.
Yeah, it was good.
Lovely film. Love that movie.
Good one.
Speaking of movies from a similar era, a movie that maybe you've never seen, but I'd imagine a lot of people listening, watching to this, who grew up in the 1990s, watched Matilda. Do you know who directed Matilda?
I don't know who directed that, but that movie is amazing.
Danny DeVito directed Matilda.
No way.
Yeah. He plays the antagonist, and he also directed it. Danny DeVito. I don't know if that's his directorial debut, but that's... I think the only credit I could find.
Way.
But Danny DeVito.
I love that movie. I watched that so much when I was a kid.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It is great.
It's a
great movie. It really is.
And you're in that when I was a kid, like, dude, do I have powers?
Yeah.
Do I have powers like this girl?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like, wait a minute. Can I make shit float with my mind?
Yeah, it is so delightful.
It is delightful is a great way to put it.
Joy.
Love that movie. I had no clue. Because,
he's the bad guy. I don't really remember what his character What's his character's deal? I don't really remember.
I hope we're thinking of it's not. We're not talking about a remake of some kind of. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the bad guy, quote unquote. I thought it was the aunt of Miss Honey or whatever. Isn't it
I don't
that
remember.
big?
Don't.
No. It's her dad. He plays her dad.
Yeah.
He plays her dad, who's also kind of like an asshole and like.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't like. Yeah,
He's not kind of. He's a huge asshole.
Yes,
It's her dad.
I knew I wasn't remembering that incorrectly.
Yeah, he's a scumbag like car like
Yes.
is like a dealership and a car body shop.
Upset about his own failures in life and
Yeah,
takes him
he's
out
a
on his
scumbag in
kids.
that. I didn't know he directed that. Great pull.
Dan DeVito.
Love that movie. Man.
Ben Stiller. Ooh, here's a movie that's probably falls into the category that first question you asked, The Cable Guy, Jim Carrey. Certainly not thought about as one of Jim Carrey's
I've never seen
best
it.
movies.
There you go.
But it's right there in that run of like Dumb and Dumber,
The Mask,
and Ace Ventura, when he just blew up. It's right in there, and it's like kind of weird and dark. It's very different, but I like it a lot. One of my favorite Jim Carrey movies.
Perfect
Ben Stiller,
example.
good job.
Perfect example. What was his? Is that the Ben Stiller movie?
Yeah, Ben Stiller directed that.
Really?
He also directed Zoolander, which he starred in, which is a very stupid movie, but I enjoyed it. Very dumb, which is the whole point. But yeah. Recently got Krasinski with Quiet Place.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested to see where that goes because he might do a similar turn where he's not. Because I kind of still think of him as like a.
Most people just still think of him as the Office guy.
Yeah, I mean, he went buff Jim for a couple of these like Navy SEAL roles, and I kind of still think of him in that. But he's making the turn, and killing it.
Yeah.
Anything else besides those two? Quiet Place?
No, that's
it so far.
The first Quiet Place was his debut. Probably one of the greatest examples of this ever. Sylvester Stallone directed the Rocky movies, which is
right.
Nailed it. Good job.
Not bad.
Good job, Sly.
Not bad.
1 for 1. Best pick. I think it won. For sure got nominated for Best Picture. I think it won.
Did you?
Pretty sure.
All of them?
I
didn't know
remember.
that.
Let's see. For sure.
You wrote another one. I just looked over. You did the A Star Is Born. Bradley Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah,
another guy who's making the. Didn't he do a couple of things? I forgot he directed A Star Is Born.
No, that was his first feature.
But has he done stuff since?
I don't think so. I mean, you got to think that didn't come out that long ago.
Yeah, probably like 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Oh. No, Stallone directed Rocky 2. He did not direct. He wrote the first Rocky. Did not direct it. He wrote it. I think he wrote the second one too. I could be wrong about that, but
we're learning things.
But he did direct the second one for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, it's a little bit worse movie, so maybe maybe not the best example. Clint Eastwood basically directs every movie he's ever been in.
What was his first one? He did. He does like a lot of the
know.
same. To be honest, like he did like The Mule or whatever.
Yeah,
and like
this is supposed to be his last movie that's I think it's in theaters now, called Cry Macho. I'll go see it maybe.
Yeah, he's done a lot of
pretty good. Orson Welles. I don't even know if people consider him a director, or if people even care about Orson Welles. But
I love the stories about Clint Eastwood on set. Just one shot, one take guy. Just like, we got it. We got it. Don't worry about it.
He's a cowboy, baby.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger. Cowboy. He's the Brett Favre of directors.
Yeah, you gotta love Clint. It's like America's old racist grandpa.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of problematic, but
we love him still. He's a good guy.
Yeah, you're the best. Orson Welles, his first movie, starred in and directed Citizen Kane. So
there you go. There's the movie talk.
Cinema.
Hit us up on Twitter with your best in the weeds movie that didn't get enough love from either just a movie you like or an actor that's just buried down there.
Your favorite underrated movie.
Their hit list.
Drop it in the comments. Drop it on.
Let us
know on Instagram. Maybe we'll read some out. Maybe we'll read some out if you.
We'd love to get all our just growing fan base involved in this. We'd love to get the people involved.
Yeah.
We do it for the people.
I also just I'm
curious.
I like hearing people's opinions about movies.
No doubt.
It's fun to talk about.